When my wife told me I had to quit impersonating a flamingo, I had to put my foot down. Hello and welcome to Assorted Meeples. I'm Phillip the Meeple on duty, and today I come to you with a conundrum and a problem that I'm sure most of you have ran into at one point. This is my board game collection. This is my one shelf that I have that I'm trying to stay on. This is the board game Primal that just arrived. This is the core game of Primal. I have another box, or multiple boxes, that will take up roughly the same amount of space as this, but I have it, and as you can see, there's not enough room for it. I also have received Dodo's Writing Dinos, Dodo Dash, and the 3 extra promo writers of Mecha Chicken, Service and Arius, and Baby and Cooks. And that slid onto the shelf because I just happen to have some room. And while it's not forgotten, it's there on the shelf and taken care of. I also found Imperial Spells and Steam by Level 99 Games, which is a game that has been on my radar for a long time. It just was in the price range that I did not want to pay for it. Well, the Geek City in North Liberty had it on their used game section for the price I was willing to pay for it. And it sits very nicely on my shelf. That is a gorgeous box, by the way, with an amazingly done insert. I really appreciate the level of work that went into that. Now, the problem becomes, what do you do when you have no more space left and you have more games coming? Because right now, somewhere in between the factory in China and the shelves right here, I have Foundations of Rome. I went all in on the pledge of that because I watched a 2-player game between Alex and his wife on Board Game Co. And it looked like a game that we would play. It's one of Heather's favorite game authors, or designers, sorry. Matsui, oh god. I'm not going to kill his name that bad, but he designs the Century Spice Road. He designed Reef. He's got a few other ones that my wife really loves. They are simple games, simple rule sets with a deeper strategy range that my wife really loves. What do you do when you run out of space? That's the general gist of this video. There are many different ideas of things that you can do. The first one is you can consolidate. You can consolidate games via, I have these guys. These are photo frames you can get at like Joann's or Michael's. I think Michael's is where you can find them fairly cheap on a regular basis. Or Hobby Lobby and places like that. For small box games that don't necessarily take up a lot of room on your shelf, but can take up a lot of room on your shelf, these were great for organizing them in a small little space and opening a little space on your shelves, and they slide in very nicely. Another way to do it is like I've done with my Marvel United right here, is instead of 50 boxes from CMON, I have it down to the promos pledge, or the promos box, and the original core box for the first season. That holds all of the content for the first campaign. I have yet to do that with the X-Men campaign, and I have the multiverse campaign somewhere in there coming. They're not at production yet, I don't think. I can't remember. But it's coming, and it is a looming axe over my head and over my shelf space. So I consolidate as much as I can. I get rid of extra boxes. Most of what I do is I put it down into the core box, which I did with Shipwrights, Raiders, Explorers. I have all the content for those, and it is all stuffed away nicely in those boxes with the room that is available. The problem becomes, what do you do after you get rid of the extra boxes? Do you keep those extra boxes? Do you get rid of them? What do you do with them? And I should be having a video fairly soonish on what I'm planning to do with my extra boxes. So stay tuned for that, and when I get it done, I will get it posted. Another thing you can do is you can purge and sell off or give away games that you no longer are going to play. Now, I have done this already. I turned in a bunch. I've sold games on Facebook, Craigslist, what have you, marketplaces. I've sold through the Geek City. They have a used game section. I've sold through there. I have given a couple games away when I feel like it's a good gift and people might play them. So I've given, if I was done with the game, I have given it away before. That does open up space and possibilities, but I'm also at the point again where I'm already full and I have no place to go for it. I've already purged out and thinned out games that I have played and know they are not for me or my play group. And so, the games that might go, I haven't got to play yet, so I don't know for sure whether they stay or go. I just need to get plays in for me to really feel good about either keeping them or getting rid of them. I already got rid of the games, the fluff that I was like, oh, that's just a cheap pickup. I'll pick that up and see, how we like it. I've already gotten rid of all of those. I've gotten rid of the games from, I bought a lot of games for $100 for a couple, 3, 4 that were in there. And I've already gotten rid of a lot of those games. Last thing you could do, if you really want to, and you have the space for it, you can add more space. Now, I am forcing myself to stay at this shelf, and I have a shelf in my bedroom that houses me, the 10 by 5 challenge that me and Heather are doing. All those games are set aside where we can get to them easy and see them in a space where we know where they're at, rather than trying to find them and get them put back on the shelf every time we play. I don't want to do that. I'm refraining because, one, I love my wife and she is not a board gamer like I am, so I am not going to take over our house with board games and create space. I think that is perfectly okay if that is how you, and if you have a significant other, choose to build out your space, and if they bring you joy, that's perfectly fine. But I believe that you should have a healthy amount of games set at what you think is right, not what other people think is right. So what works for me might not work for you, and vice versa. So if I've already gotten rid of all the games that I want to, I'm not expanding. That just leaves me consolidating this down into spaces so I can. That is a lot easier said than done in some instances, but I have to find the space here because I'm holding myself to those rules. I will be consolidating a lot of my small game boxes. I need to find games that, I have Barbarian Battlegrounds and the second game that came out, Seasons. And I think I could probably get rid of the base game. So yeah, I have to leave you with that conundrum because I don't know where this goes right now. As much as I want to keep all my games, some might have to hit the chopping block. And that's going to be a hard choice for me. But I leave you on the notes of the conundrum of trying to consolidate and make the space that I have work for the games I have and the games coming. So I'll leave you there, and we will see you guys next time. All right. Bye.
If you like what you just saw, please support us by hitting that like button and subscribing to our channel for more great gaming content.